I'm Trinese, and today our special guest is Joyslam. Okay, so listening to your music, the first thing it's like very upbeat and positive and like a celebratory feel. Like even with the titles like Free Spirit and Spirit Star, and even your name is Joy, is in the title. Um, how do you create that sort of sound and feeling?
A lot of the music is it's kind of like a mix mash of a bunch of different styles and different genres, and just like that really positive kind of energy and kind of vibe, because like when you're doing the music, the whole idea is to get people moving and dancing and stuff. And it's kind of, when you're able to do that, it's kind of like this weird kind of perpetual loop where, you know, people are giving you this positive energy, and then you just have to give it back to them. And you know, when I write, I try to do that. There's some instances, unfortunately, where, you know, the material has to be a little more serious and a little darker, but in general, I prefer the positive up-tempo kind of stuff, watching people having a good time, you know?
Mhm. So is that more within the beat or the lyrics? So how do you kind of start your creative process?
Sometimes I usually try to go with the beat, but the lyrics are also kind of portray a positive kind of energy as well. But as I said, sometimes, you know, sometimes it's kind of weird. You can have really serious kind of lyrics, but can still have that kind of you know, bouncy kind of energetic kind of music underneath it. Because sometimes that actually kind of works well, because while people are still moving and dancing and they're singing the lyrics, it's kind of like, you know, it kind of dawns on them. It's like, oh, wow, yeah, that's, you know, that's true. That's a positive, you know, that's something they can relate to. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, since you talked about kind of feeding off of the energy of the audience, so are you more like into performing or like the actual creative process behind?
Oh, I love
Making music?
performing. I
Oh, really?
absolutely love playing. Anytime I get the opportunity, I love playing. I love the music and just the whole live and energetic vibe of being able to play live. I mean, recording and everything, it sounds glamorous, but basically recording is you go in and you play a part, and then you play it about 10 more times, because, you know, you'd have to get the perfect take and everything else. So sometimes it just kind of gets a little bit kind of tedious sometimes, but it's great though, being able to create in that environment too. But live is way better.
So when did you kind of realize that your music was having an effect on people and getting them to get up and move and feel like that joyous feeling?
Kind of when I was able to play live. And most of the time when you're playing live, when you're starting off, you kind of have to play cover material too, just because it's for people to have songs that they can kind of relate to. But when I'm able to play live, and then you kind of put, you mix original material in, you don't announce it. You don't say, oh, this is an original, because you never get the reaction that you want. Other people are over nice and they go, oh, that's a great song, even though it isn't. Or they're really critical and it's like, yeah, well, you did this. But when you just kind of introduce it and people are still getting into it and they're starting to move and they're starting to dance to it, then yeah, that's kind of awesome. So that's, it's that point where everything just kind of culminates, and it's kind of like, yeah, this is kind of why I'm doing this.
So how long have you been doing this professionally?
Not really. Oh, probably, man, I'm at least good over half of my life. So over 20 years.
So who are some of your influences then, since you're kind of a different generation?
You know what, people, I know it's weird and it's kind of cliche, and people say, oh, I listen to everything, and they kind of don't. I kind of listen, I do. I listen to everything from opera to death metal. It really depends on the mood. So there's no really specific artist, because it's just, there's stuff from country that's really cool. There's stuff from funk that's really cool. There's even stuff from classical that's really cool. So it's just kind of a matter of listening to a little bit of everything and going, hey, that's cool, you know. And I'm not going to say I'm not going to say rip it off. I'm going to say borrow. Yes. So yeah, borrow from different things. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's right across the board. So there's no one specific. I really, again, it just depends on the mood.
Yeah, and looking into you, I see like it's a lot about free spirit. You have lyrics about, you know, bringing each other together and kind of celebrating all of our differences and all of the things that we do have in common. Is that something you kind of grew up around, or is that just how you've always been?
No, that's it's something I kind of grew up around and as well. And like we're out in Canada, and so it's really diverse, and there's so many different people, not just, you know, and just not race and culture and creed, and you know, it's just kind of like um there's always going to be interactions, there's always going to be stuff, and like I said, I'm not really overly concerned about something wrong with a person's creed or their race or whatever. I kind of go by, this person is cool or this person's an a-hole, and it doesn't matter what color you are, what gender you are. A-holes just, you know, that's just right across the board. It doesn't matter. You find them everywhere.
Mhm.
I try to stay away from them.
So you're an Aboriginal artist. How important was it for you to include your cultural background and heritage into your music and have that like kind of showcase that for people who are unaware of that?
Didn't want to, but I also, in the same sense, didn't want to shove it in somebody's face. Although I'm wearing a Mohawk T-shirt, so, you know, represent. But no, I was more about catering to the music and catering to this song more than trying to cater to a culture. And I was just hoping that, you know what, the music has native aspects to it and native chants and things, but I also wanted to keep the music underneath it, not so traditional, but to kind of mix mash it with a bunch of stuff so people are just more getting into it. You know, so I mean, it's kind of a hybrid of traditional and putting a little bit of a modern kind of mix and kind of spin to it.
So would you rather prefer like to kind of not have that being like when they describe you, have that be the title, or is it something that you do want kind of display? Because I know sometimes people kind of shy away from like being put in a specific box.
No, I understand that too. So, but no, like I said, I have no issues with, you know, going out and saying, yes, I'm an Aboriginal artist. And yeah, if I can do things to help and further, you know, Aboriginal or Mohawk, you know, culture, and let people be aware and go, hey, yeah, he's a Mohawk artist and he's doing, you know, this and he's doing that and he's doing an online interview. Wow. And he's not scaring people with his mug. Wow. So, I mean, if that's, if people pick up on that and that's a positive thing, then no problem whatsoever. You know, I mean, I have no problem in doing things to try to, you know, help fellow Mohawks and fellow Aboriginals along. And if that spreads out and I can help other people, that's great. That's no problem. I would like to do that.
So you say you've been doing this like over like half your life. So what was the time when you realized that you wanted to dedicate your life to music and this was really your calling?
Oh, I was a little kid at the time, like maybe 4 or 5. I don't remember all of it. I just remember being told that I was an annoying little kid that would not shut up if there was no music. So I'd be like, play music, play music, play music. So I'm just glad at the time I didn't get punched out for that. No, I was always like that. And my mom and my grandfather were the 2 most influential people in my life for that. My grandfather is long since passed away, but he was the one who actually gave me my naming ceremony and everything. Oh, wow. So that was awesome. It'd be great if I remembered more of it. But no, there were always other. My mom especially was always either singing or had music, and it's always different types of music. So I just grew up around it, and I'm at a point now where I cannot go to sleep without having a radio or music playing in the background. It's weird, but dead silence gives me a headache. I cannot handle silence. It just bugs me.
So I saw, which I thought was, I might be, I messed up the quote a little bit, but it says something like, you said music is everything and everything else is a distraction. Do you still feel that way? You still have that passion like all the years into this?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. I hate the business part of it because it's changed so much.
Mhm.
It's used to be, okay, it's about just strict out talent. This person can sing, this people, you know, this band can play. And now it's not just about that. Now it's about how many followers you have, you know, how many likes you have. It's all social media, and it's kind of like record labels are like, well, they don't have a social media presence, so we're not going to give them an opportunity. And it should be about the talent. It shouldn't be technology trying to save you. It shouldn't be about technology trying to perpetuate you. It should be, can you sing? Can you play? And, you know, that's what it should be about. Unfortunately, it's really changed. So, you know, I doubt that it's ever going to go back to, you know, this person is just talented. Let's give them an opportunity. So opportunities are very hard to come by. So, you know, when I get an opportunity like this, that's why, you know, I say thank you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to you and to your, you know, to your listeners and viewers. Thank you.
No, and thank you for even agreeing to do it.
Oh,
So I was
no
wondering,
problem.
so how do you navigate through those waters and how to kind of build a following? Because like at this point, it's kind of like you have to kind of, even though we don't like technology sometimes, it's kind of our way to the world and we kind of have to use it. So how do you kind of navigate and kind of balance the technological side and the creative musical side?
I use, like I said, I'll use it. No, I'm not dissing technology in that sense, like at all, because I mean, without that, you know, it would be a lot harder and a lot more costly to record and to do things. It's just my only issue is just was with how record labels and that have just become so lazy and they've just and they're just kind of going, how many? Oh, he has a million. He has a million followers. Yeah, we'll give him a listen. You know, you can sing like, you have a million followers. That's perfect. So that's my only really issue with the industry, but not with the technology when it comes to recording and everything, because it helps a lot. And like I said, platforms like this get your music out to the world and you know, to people that would never have had the opportunity to listen to you. So in that sense, it's really good. So I like using the technology in that sense. And it's you can kind of swerve it back and forth. The creative part of it, like when you're first writing and stuff like that, it comes through your head. It's like, here's ideas, here's lines or whatever. So there's no technology really involved in that point. And when you're starting to think of a melody line or something to sing along with it, that's in your head too. So the creative parts always supersedes the technology. The technology just helps it along once you get to that point and you start writing, or keyboards or drum machines or whatever aspect you want to use to start writing. So there's always a kind of fine balance between them, and I have no problem with that.
Do you have any sort of like creative partner, or is it solely just you?
It's for the most part for the writing and and everything you hear in the parts, it's just me. When you hear the actual music and it's the guitar or bass, that is not me. I can play guitar and I can play bass, but it is going to be really sloppy and slow. If you want a 3-minute song played in about 10, then I can do it. But no, there's a bunch of different musicians and stuff that that I play with, other live or recording and things like that. There's just kind of a pool of them, and depending on the song or what the talent not the talent, sorry, but the genre or the style that's needed, then I bring in different people for that.
Oh.
But the drums, the vocals, and the keyboards, that's me.
Oh, wow. So are you self-taught?
For the most part, and then I ended up going to music school. And for those of you out there that are going to music school, you don't need to. It's expensive and not worth it. So, yeah, it really is. And I mean, it's good in a sense where you could kind of network a little bit, but as for the actual learning, a lot of it, yeah, you can self-teach yourself. And then when it comes to the fine tuning, you can always just, go to just a music school or something, just pick up a couple of lessons here and there. Same thing. It really is. And it's way less expensive.
So going back a little bit, since you have a lot of experience under your belt, but like, how is it like forming your identity as an artist?
Oh, that's tough. It's tough because I think most people almost kind of end up doing that for you. I mean, you can go out and say, okay, well, I'm a funk rock artist or a country artist or a hip hop artist, but I think you can call yourself that. But once the music's out there, I think people have this way of kind of forming their opinion and going, yeah, he's this artist or that artist. And once that happens, it's for the most part, you can kind of roll with it a little bit and try to expand a little bit and say, yeah, I'm just not just a funk rock artist, I'm a rock artist or alt or whatever the case may be. So I think your music has to almost speak for you. Because I mean, if I just went out and said, yeah, I'm a country artist and I'm playing stuff and people aren't hearing country, it's like, how is he a country artist? And I'm an artist and I'm from a country. There you go.
So COVID's everywhere. And I know it might be different in Canada, but how was it like, because I know you probably couldn't tour or things like that. So how was your kind of career affected or impacted and through that? And did you?
Very, very horribly. Once COVID, it was bad for here too. And we had a lot of COVID restrictions. We still do. So they're just starting to lighten up a little bit with them, as of only like about a week or two ago. But you still have to wear the masks and the social distancing and all that stuff. But I haven't played anything live for almost 2 years because of the restrictions. They loosened it up for like about a month or so. So I was able to do a couple of solo shows, and then just after Christmas, hit the lockdown hit again. So I had gigs lined up for New Year's in January, and gone. All the entertainment was gone, and then they have this really stupid restriction out here where you can have entertainment, but people aren't allowed to dance. So
how's that possible?
Clubs basically are going, well, there's no, or halls or anywhere, they're going, well, there's no sense in us bringing in a band or bringing in an artist because people can't dance. So they're just piping in like satellite music or whatever. And I'm hoping that's not a trend that continues, because, there's a lot of really talented artists out there, and we all need an opportunity to go out and to play. So I'm hoping bars or halls or venues don't go, hey, we can just pipe in music and we save money. Yeah, because that's not the same thing as having live artists, as opposed to just playing something off a glorified iPod.
Yeah. So how has your kind of strategy to promote and everything changed?
Once I couldn't do live, I kind of started trying to write and then everything. But the hardest part, and every artist will probably be able to tell you the same thing, the hardest thing is trying to write when you have no inspiration and you feel so blah, it's really tough to write like that. But I was, or the stuff that you write ends up kind of reflecting how you feel. And if everything is negative, you start writing all this negative stuff, and and gloom and doom and death and destruction and everything sucks and we're all gonna die. There you go. That's a new song. But I spent a lot of time doing that, and then I sat there and I said, okay, you know what? I got to try to record, and then I got to get this music out. So how do you get the music out and stuff and that? And so literally I've been sitting in front of the computer and going through different sites, and I'm just about ready now to start literally getting emails and contact for all of the magazines, radio stations, all that throughout the planet. And then I'm going to have to try and send everything out to them. So I've been working on this for, oh man, months of trying to find people to contact and get stuff to. So I've been spending a lot of time doing that, and it sucks and it's boring and I'd rather be playing, but I know you got to do the business part of it too. So I've been spending most of my time doing that.
So then you have some new music in the works?
Yep, there's the album is just done. The last track I did about maybe 2 weeks ago. So the album is now out and available. So the last track was actually the title track, Spirit Star.
Oh, okay.
So
and that's when I actually, that's when I was listening to.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, it's available now. It's on, what I'm doing now, because I really appreciate everything you guys are doing, and for your listeners, for the next little while, it's going to be on the Joyslam website. It says joyslam.com. So joy like happy, slam like slam dunk, like in basketball. So just joyslam.com. There's music videos there. And for the next little while, I'm going to leave a couple of the new tracks from the new album there, absolutely free to download or stream. It's just a thank you for, everybody listening and supporting what I'm trying to do in live music in general.
Do you have any like your YouTube or Instagram or Facebook? We can
YouTube, Spotify, Facebook. Facebook is weird because for some weird reason I was just finding all the stuff and everything, and next thing I know, Facebook goes, we're suspending your account. It's like, what the heck did I do? I have no idea what I did. I was just trying to contact radio stations. But anyway, so my Facebook is out of commission, I suppose, for the next 27 days or something. But Twitter is still up, YouTube, Reverb Nation. When you go to the joyslam.com site, just on the right-hand side, just click on any of the tabs. It'll take you right to all of the different social media accounts.
All right, great. And again, you want to plug the album title?
Yeah, the album is called Spirit Star. It is out now. It's available on CD Baby as well as Amazon, Spotify, anywhere you can hear music, it's probably there.
All right.
And joyslam.com, again, for the next little while, let's go there and you can either stream or download the tracks for absolutely free.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed our conversation.
And you as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time and doing this.